Hey everyone, Jeremy here. It is Tuesday night and we're going to create some art. Let me just double check. Yeah, we got the microphone on this time. That's great. Everything seems to be cooking. Cool. So it is Tuesday night and we're going to create some art here in just a moment. I wanted to invite you to the show. It has seemed like there's been some more people who's come in that's maybe new to the channel. That's awesome. I just wanted to let you guys know this is a pretty cool community. Like we just hang out and we just chat while I'm drawing and stuff like that. Um, a very diverse group of people. They're a lot of fun to talk to. So I encourage you guys to hang out in the chat and kind of chime in if you want, or drop a comment below if you're a little like shy or something. That's totally fine as well. But yeah, we're here to create art. We do this every Tuesdays. We do it Thursdays. And yeah, we do all kinds of different pictures and different mediums and stuff like that. I kind of have some that I kind of stick to. Like I'm mostly like a wildlife artist, but I vary it up sometimes and vary up the mediums as well. So if that's like something that you're interested in, I encourage you to hang out and subscribe and all that stuff. So I just wanted to throw that out there. Every now and then I forget to. So anyway, with that out of the way, we're gonna create some art. I thought I'd do a German Shepherd tonight. Hopefully you guys are into that. I'm going to try to do it in the style that I did my Beagle the other day. I'm trying to develop this style where I work with watercolor to kind of like create like a background for it and then come over it with pastels. So I'm going to give that a shot with the German Shepherd this time. I think it'll turn out cool. This is a picture of a German Shepherd that I've done before, so it'd be kind of interesting to see how this turns out versus the one that I did before. I think the one I did before was also in pastel, but it's been a while. It wasn't stylistically in the same vein. So anyway, without much ado, I'm just going to jump right in. This time I went really crazy on the watercolor background. As you can see, it's a big old mess. It just looks like, just junk all over the paper. But I think we're going to be able to create like a really cool German Shepherd out of this, guys. And so I want to give a shout out to some of the people in the room. We got Mama Q in here. We got Kid. Kid is so ready for summer. We got OK Larry. And we got Rome Dog. Sweet. That's enough for a party. So yeah, like I was saying in the intro, I'm trying to remember to I'm trying to remember to acknowledge that more people have been showing up so that I don't want to be rude and stuff. Hey, we got Coop Art in here. Cool. Yeah. So, if I ever forget to like give you guys a shout out, make sure you let me know so that I can, make amends because I really do appreciate you guys showing up. I think you guys are awesome. But I sometimes forget to mention it. So again, really messy background. Kind of looks like maybe one of my coffee paintings where I spilled coffee all over it. But I wanted to get some color in here. We got some blues, we got some oranges, and we got some greens. Those all work together with what is predominantly going to be a brown dog. German Shepherds are kind of brown dogs. I kind of want to get these eyes in here real quick just so that I don't forget where they're at. Like I kind of marked off where I want them to be. But you lose a lot of that like when you do the background, especially like something as messy as this where everything's dark. So I kind of want to get these marks back in here real quick just so that I remember where everything is. And then even though it's not going to be really this color, I kind of want to remember where the tongue is going to be down here. So I'm just quickly getting these things in so I don't forget where they're at. I'm not concerned about any kind of detail here. Just want to remember where they're at. I think I'll do the same with the nose real quick. You guys are getting snow yet, Larry? Where is Larry? Oh, he's down in Florida. Oh, crazy weather, guys. And it's snowing in New Orleans. It's snowing in like I think Pensacola, Florida. This is insane. I have never seen anything like this. It's just a weird winter. It's like, when is this winter going to be over? I think it's been here too long. Who's with me on that? I think we should just get rid of the winter this time. Like, it doesn't have to be summertime yet. Just like a little bit warmer weather. This deep freeze stuff that we've got going on. And it's not just in my neck of the woods, it's all over the place, especially down south. Like, you guys aren't prepared for this. There is no way that New Orleans. So I'm picking on New Orleans because every now and then I log into the live stream for that. Like I like to people watch there on Bourbon Street. It's like a pastime for me. So I log into a couple of different live streams. I started doing this during COVID when we were all sent home and stuff and we had nothing to do. I started logging into live streams so that I can like just people watch really. And it kind of helped me in the isolation, just kind of, you know, get by. And it was a lot of fun. So the couple of places, so Venice Beach is one because I'd been there before. I would log in and see what's going on there. Um, Times Square is another, and then Bourbon Street in New Orleans. That was always a big one for me too. So see Bourbon Street under snow. There is no way they're prepared for that. They don't have salt. They don't have any of that stuff. I guarantee you. They're just going to basically wait around until it melts. Super duper cold here. We may get some sleet and snow. Yeah, see, you guys aren't prepared for that. I remember when I lived down in Florida, 60s maybe during the winter. I mean, maybe it got down into the 50s on a weird occasion or something like that. But this stuff, this is nuts. All right, so I kind of feel like I know where things are now, so that's good. I can move into like really getting some stuff going here. So my first thing is I'm gonna like actually develop these eyes so that we have kind of like right now it kind of looks like a mess here. So I'm going to develop these eyes real quick so that I know where things are. Um, Hold on one second. I forgot to put my watch on. I like to keep track of time on my watch. So give me one second. I'm not prepared for this stream tonight. Some streams I kind of plan in advance. This one I did not. I just kind of wanted to do a dog. I want to branch out from like doing pets in this style though. Like I kind of want to do like a wizard. I don't know why, but I just kind of want to do a wizard. Um, Doing like cool little magics and stuff. But I'll have to get to that later. Right now I got dogs to do. I want to build a you know, like when I was doing my copy art, I kind of want to build a like a portfolio of pictures all in the same style so that I can say, hey, look at that style I did. That's kind of cool, right? So that's why I'm kind of maybe using some of the same models here. So this is a German Shepherd that I've done before. I'm going to call him Rex. I don't know why. It looks like a Rex to me. Speaking of Rex, I kind of want to do a dinosaur too. Somebody suggested I do a dinosaur. I'm like, yeah, I can do that. That'd be cool. But later days, gotta get these done first. Yeah, wizard. I think it'd be cool in this style, you know. I want to do some people, you know, like I mostly do the pets and and like horses and stuff like that. And I've been shying away from people for a while just because the last couple of ones that I didn't turn out that great. But I feel like I'm in a better place. Like I feel like I've leveled up a little bit, and I'm ready to give it another shot. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I'll try something offline, and then if it turns out well, I'll post a video. I still have a bunch of videos that I took from last spring that I haven't done, like put up yet. It's kind of crazy. I don't know, like these live streams are easier for me to produce than like actual standalone videos. And you would think that those would be kind of simple, but they're really not. Like, I don't know, like I don't think I'll ever be really good at video production, but those those things they take some time because you have to go back and you have to watch something like a million times over just to kind of cut it right. I kind of phone it in a little bit with my picture, my videos that I make, like my little standalone videos and stuff. But even then, you know, you kind of want to go back through it and edit it and make sure that like everything is okay. Like I'm talking about the videos. So like probably the most recent one I did is when I went to the Lexington Gallery Hop and I kind of like, you know, posted a video of that. Even with something like that, you still like, did I say the wrong thing? I need to edit myself out, you know, make sure that I'm not like, because I got a bit of a potty mouth sometimes. Um, it's not that bad, but like, you know, it's pretty bad sometimes. And You know, sometimes that's not appropriate. Like, if I'm like at an office or something like that, or working with coworkers, I don't have a potty mouth. I kind of keep it to myself. But when I'm at home, just by myself or whatever, I'll cuss up a storm, right? So like if I'm out enjoying myself, um, like like on a Friday night at a gallery hop or something like that, I might, you know, not be all that constrained. So I have to go back and edit it and be like, kids might watch this. I need to watch what I say. Like I try to keep my nieces in mind. I have well, not nieces, sorry, grandnieces, sorry, they're my niece's kids. My niece's kids are 5 and under, so you know they haven't shown any interest in art, really. But you know, people grow into that kind of stuff. Maybe as they get older, they might. So in my mind, so I got three nieces, and I think I got four nieces. Um, I have to list them all off in my head to remember. But anyway, they're younger in age and stuff, and they haven't shown any interest in art, but I think like maybe someday they might. So I want to kind of like keep these videos and stuff to kind of show them if they ever do, and then you know I wouldn't want to be cussing up a storm if they're watching them. You know, Uncle Jeremy's got a potty mouth. That's no good. So I try to keep them in mind whenever I'm doing live streams or you know videos or whatever. Like, you know, if I wouldn't show it to my grandniece, I probably shouldn't be showing it online anyway. That's that's my thinking on it. Get some eyeliner here on these dogs. Shout them out when you know them. So, let's see. Got hey Claire, got let's see, Lola, got Adeline, Eleanor. Those are my grandnieces, and as far as my nieces are, hey Caitlin, hey I don't want to leave anybody out. Hey Rowan, hey there I go, trying to cuss again. All right, I'm not gonna name them all off. I can't remember them all off the top of my head. Um, they're probably not watching anyway. Some of them live in Sweden, but nah, they're good kids. They're great kids. See the ones in Sweden, we got Chloe, Rowan, Aislinn. I hope I didn't miss any there. I might have. That sucks if I did. Orla, who is a new niece of mine. My brother is very prolific when it comes to having kids. My older brother, he's got nine, I want to say, quite a few. And then my younger brother, he's got one. I don't have any kids. I have dogs. That's what I've got. Not much of a cusser unless you get me on a roll. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If it's funny, I'll cuss. Like I'll cuss for like punctuation or something. I don't make a habit of it. I try not to make a habit of it because you know, and there's some words I specifically avoid. So like you know, I don't want those in my vocabulary. So I just really don't even want to like even try. So for those watching who aren't familiar with how these things go, I do apologize. There is an ugly phase for these guys. It takes a little while before they really start to develop, especially like in these lower layers. So like the process, and you always have to trust the process. You guys might have heard that before. The process is to like basically get in these first lower layers. Um, and blur them out like so that they're like almost like a blurry photo or something like that so that you can put details above them. That's my process. That's how I work with it. um, but it always looks kind of ugly until it starts to come together, and it usually starts to come together towards the end, but sometimes a little bit earlier. There's a point where you know it makes no sense whatsoever, and then all of a sudden it just like, oh wow, that kind of looks like a picture, you know. I try not to be nervous. Like sometimes pictures go bad. I don't know ahead of time if they're going to work out. If they don't, like generally they work out. So I don't stress it. But I can see how like, inexperienced artists they might worry. I was thinking about creating a video. Um, oh, you have a crippled poodle. Oh, I'm sorry. I need to pay more attention to you guys in chat. Sorry about that. Um, Great Mess, I have a crippled poodle, had a wheelchair. I'm drawing with you. Be right back in 7 minutes. Gotta move the car. I gotcha. Crippled poodle, that sucks. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, it's something about like I was thinking about creating a video where I just kind of go over the process, like, not even chatting or whatever. Like, sometimes we get off topic. We just start talking about movies and stuff like that. By the way, No Good Deed on Netflix. Watch that over the weekend if you're looking for like a fun, dark comedy kind of movie or series to watch. That was pretty good. All right. Yeah. So sometimes we get off track and we start talking about movies or whatever. I think I might create a video or maybe a series of videos that are kind of like standalone, like something I actually take time to create and all that. And put them up called you know steal my art style or something of that nature, where I kind of like go over step by step exactly what you need to do to be able to pull these off, because I kind of found that like I end up doing the same things over and over, right? So that is a reproducible like um process. Like I haven't always been able to do that, but you know over the last maybe year, couple months, whatever, I've kind of developed a way of doing things where it doesn't really matter what medium I'm using. I'm kind of doing the same things over and over. So that's something that I could probably like just tell people how to do or whatever. So I might create some videos along that line. Kind of want I kind of want to help people. So like and I really don't care if like somebody steals my art style. I'm sure my art style is derivative of somebody else's. So like pay it forward, right? So I think that would be the theme of my things. Starting to get a little bit of a face in here, so that's cool. Got a little ways to go. I do love German Shepherds. They're so cute. I know that they're used for like military and police dogs and stuff like that, but I have never personally met a mean German Shepherd. I know they're out there, but someone pulled Larry's bill. I don't think I've ever seen a picture of Larry. I picture him as being bearded, but I don't think I've seen a picture of him. I've seen the picture that Rome Dog did. But I kind of picture him as like what Santa Claus would look like if he was on vacation in Florida. That's what I have in mind. Made a Texas trash pie tonight. Was yummy, not healthy, but yummy. I want to know what's in that. It sounds to me kind of like a Frito pie, but I don't know. What goes into a Texas trash pie? I'm intrigued. This sounds really good. So again, the process is like you lay down a little bit of stuff, you come back, you kind of blend it out. I'm using this blending stump just because these areas are kind of small, but I can use my fingers just as well. Keeping it real smooth. I'll come back and mess with those eyes here in a minute. I kind of want to. I like to hit the ground running on these pictures and get like a lot accomplished pretty quick. At least like structurally, right? I want you to know where things are. I'm not gonna mess too much with this ear because I kind of want some of that watercolor to show through. Because like the ear is just basically like a flap of velvetness. So it makes sense to have those kind of things in there. I will build around it though. Yeah, so I think that's looking good. I want to get a little bit more darkness down on this nose. I'll come back and mess with that here in a bit. Um, so a Texas trash pie is chocolate chips, pretzels, caramel bits, pecans. See, I say pecans instead of pecans. Um, grams shredded coconut, all glued together with sweet condensed milk. That sounds incredibly amazing. And also, you're right, not very healthy at all. That sounds that sounds like something I want to eat, and then I'll instantly regret it. Like I could probably eat that once a month and get away with it, but any more than that, like just put on pounds and just bloat up. But that sounds incredible. All right, so no shape is ever like one color, so like I just added a little bit of brown in here just to kind of darken this up and give it a little bit of depth, and then get a little bit above it. I need to get like another black pastel because like I've been using this charcoal instead, and I'm not too happy with doing that. I'd rather use pastel. It's basically the same, but I don't know. To me, the pastel is going to cake in there a little bit better, I guess. Hard to explain. Yeah, those eyes are going to look good. Um, if you have the time or something, you can use the same process and probably get like a greater level of detail than I do. I try to keep it under 2 hours. Some people, doing a realistic portrait. Like there's this one girl who comes in here. She's a like Emily. If you're watching, a shout out to you. She has been working on the same dog picture for like multiple sessions. I don't know how she has the patience for that. That is amazing to me. Like she puts like in at least an hour into it each time too. So I think she's done like maybe four of them or whatever. That kind of level of patience I will never have, and I think that's what you need to do, like create ultra realistic pictures. Um, I do not have that patience. I will never have that patience. Hey MJ, how's it going? Larry says, I came home from work today and heard Bandit barking as usual. Opened the back door and Zeus zoomed out, but Bandit was still barking and whimpering. Oh, doing good, MJ. Appreciate you asking. Trying to stay warm, creating some art, trying to get some decent pictures in. I don't know what I'm gonna do this year. At some point this year, I priced out some frames. I'm gonna frame up some of my art. So at some time this year, I'm gonna be hanging my art somewhere. I've already got that one coffee shop who said I can. It's an open invitation. I just haven't put anything in frames yet. I don't know what I'm going to put in frames. It maybe for the coffee shop, I feel like it has to be those coffee paintings I've done. Um, but then also little things like this, I might put into some frames, and I think that's going to be my goal this year. So I don't know where these are going to end up hanging, but I'm going to get some pictures hanging up somewhere. That's my goal for this year. Looking forward to it. I don't think I'm going to do an art show. If I do an art show, it'll be in fall because I haven't. I thought about maybe doing that as a goal for this year, like where I go and put up like a booth and stuff like that. But I don't have a tent. I don't want to spend a fortune on like an art show and it just flop. So I think that that's something I'm going to have to build up to, like confidence wise. Maybe a smaller art show or something where it's indoors and you don't have to have like a tent or anything. I don't know. We'll see. But you got to get them framed first. So like that in my mind, part of beers want to hang out with me. Nice. Emily is way better than us, only drawing 4 years. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. Yeah, I love it when you see people that have like a bright future like that. And that's how I kind of feel about her. I think that she's going to do very well in her art career. But yeah, I think at some point I would like. We'll see how it goes, but I would like to interact with the public, like a little bit more than just drawing here in the YouTuber verse. Get out there, talk to people. I did figure out kind of how I can do a like a little session at like the pub. I was thinking, so like I watched this other person who did a a live stream, but it wasn't in real time. Like they had pre-recorded something and then just hung out in the chat and stuff while the live stream was going. And I'm like, that's brilliant. I can do that. I can go to a pub, do my art there and stuff, like around other people and stuff, and then come back, play it, and just hang out with you guys. Almost kind of like what we're doing now. It's just pre-recorded. So I think I might do that at some point too. All right, so here I'm introducing some more colors. So like it's pretty brown right now. I'm trying to introduce some more oranges. Hey Sammy, how's it going? The weather is going down to the negatives in Pennsylvania. Yeah, -8. That's terrible. Sorry. I don't know why that caused me to burp, but yeah, -8 sounds bad. I think it's pretty similar here. Obviously, I'm not out in the weather. I don't want to go out in the weather, but it. I saw negatives in the forecast. It did not look good. So again, you got these darker layers here and stuff, and you know they're kind of blended out when you come back over them with these lighter colors and stuff. It starts to kind of come together. I want a little bit of orange up here in this here. It's not orange. It's kind of like an orangish brown. It's I'm gonna call it orange, but I don't have these colors labeled or anything like that. I know that a lot of art shows are like I'm using cadmium red and all that. I don't know what I'm using. I'm gonna call it burnt some another. It could be burnt sienna. I don't know. These these are basically like an orangish brown. Maybe one day I will actually think ahead of time and actually, you know, kind of have a palette ready to go. I kind of do have a palette. I have a collection of pastels over here that I picked out ahead of time, but I don't know their colors. I'm sorry. I wish I did. So like with my other pictures, I really don't want to go too far into some of the watercolor areas. Like I want them to kind of work together. So I want watercolors to kind of come through and also the pastels. And I think that that kind of like um, bit where they're kind of working together, I think that's kind of cool. So that's the goal here, to kind of let some of these colors here kind of shine through. Like those are kind of like a, I know it's tough to see in this lighting and stuff, but there's like these are kind of like some light greens and stuff. You can kind of see the green a little more pronounced over here. There's some light blues and stuff. I think all those colors work together, like a balance of the warm colors that are going into his face, and then those cooler colors as well. All right, so I kind of want to work on this nose here a little bit. I'm gonna set that to the side. I think I kind of want to get a little bit of the top of the nose kind of in here, just so I can kind of see where things are. I'm kind of freehanding this. I know I drew ahead of time where I wanted everything to go, but I've kind of lost some of those marks, so this is me trying to recover some of that um, pre-planned stuff and get it back in here. Yeah, I think that's going to be about right. So you got a bit of highlight on the top of the nose. Come back and just kind of, yeah, just kind of get that going. All right, and then you've got, I'll put that to the side because I'll come back to it. Oranges are a gang color. I don't know what a gang is. Bandit survived. I did pull some splint. Ouch. Get this little nostril in here. I love drawing in dogs. The dogs have the most expressive face. This one in particular. Hopefully, I can get all the expression into his tongue, because his tongue's just like lopping out here and stuff. I'll try to get that here before too long. How are we doing on time? Oh, we're doing okay. Let's see. I think that's going to be about right. blend that in just a little bit. So I like to blend it in just a little bit so that I can come back over it with other colors. That might be a bit much, but I'm going to go with it. It doesn't have to be perfect. I have a reference picture trying to match the colors as best as possible. But I do have like limited amount of pastels, so like I don't think I'm going to get this perfect, but this is good enough. I think this is going to turn out well. All right, I think that's going to work. Let's see what happens if I get this up here. Sorry. So a little bit of experimentation. So I'm going to come back to that. I kind of want to get some other stuff in here. Sorry about the background noise, people making noise. People don't know how to be quiet in my house when I'm doing these streams. That's okay though. I just want to I want to boop them, you know. Hey, all from frigid New York City, where it's only 18 degrees. Man, I love that everybody's so cold that they're chiming off their degrees. I have to look up what it is here. I don't know. It's 7 degrees. Sorry, it's 7 degrees. It's right here on my screen. That's crazy, right? Why is the whole freaking country so cold right now? It's nuts. I can't get over in my mind snow on that Bourbon Street webcam. That's just nuts. I don't get it. So again, I smooth this out so that it's nice and blurry, so that whenever I put over this blurriness, it's automatically going to like look super detailed. Just because, you know, I get this darker value in here first. You know, people do this like when they paint and stuff like that. I'm not reinventing the wheel here. But you know, for people who only draw, which is mostly what I do. I mostly draw. I don't paint that much. I don't actually do pastel as much as you know, other people do and stuff. I do like to draw. For people who just draw and stuff, this is how painters do it. You know, they start building up layers and stuff. When you're drawing, like say in graphite or something, you're pushing into the paper. You're not building up like this is. That's why this is sometimes called painting. Like drawing with pastels is often referred to as painting. So there's some highlight on the fur through here. Just using a white pastel. Now, I'm tempted to come in and smooth out this, but I don't want to, you know, because like I like the level of detail here. So I'm just going to kind of like use this as is. I'm not going to smooth it out or anything. So, you know, shorter marks create fur. And you're going over all the stuff that you already had before. So, and the reason why I can do this, I mentioned basically in every thing is like I do the watercolor and then I apply clear gesso over it, so it creates this sanded surface. I really got to create that video where I'm just going over the entire process. I'm going to do that probably this month sometime. I don't know. But yeah, it gives it the sanded surface that I can use to create, you know, like this fur. I can go over areas that I've already done. And what I like about this is you can kind of see the dog's face developing out of this paper, out of that mess that was here. Like if you scrub back to the beginning and stuff, there was this mess of just color. And this dog's face is kind of developing out of that. I love that part of the thing. Like it's really fun to go back and watch the time lapses where you just kind of watch it just kind of develop like an old Polaroid or something. It's like so much for global warming. I'm telling you, you know, you're going to shoot yourself in the foot because when summer comes around, it's going to come back to bite you. That's where you're going to get your global warming at. But no, this is just insane weather. Like I don't understand it, and it's everywhere. That's what's cool. That's what's weird about it. I was gonna say cool, but it's not. Hopefully everybody out there is staying safe. Like I know that when it gets kind of cold, not everybody has shelter. They kind of like, I mean, sometimes your power goes out or something like that. If even if you have a home or something, your power goes out. Get yourself to somewhere uh, where you can be taken care of. Whether that's like a library, a shelter, whatever. Um, we've had ice storms here, like not where I'm living now because all the power lines are underground, but I've lived in places here in Kentucky where we've had ice storms and the power goes out for like a whole week and stuff. I spend a lot of time at the library when that happens, and I encourage other people to do the same. Um, I tried to stick it out, and then eventually I'm like, nah, screw this. I'm gonna go get a hotel room. So I stay in a hotel room for a week because of the extreme weather. Hopefully nobody's in that kind of a situation. But if you are, reach out. Somebody will help you. Dogs are beautiful. German Shepherds are powerful dogs. Yeah, I've never like. I know that there are some out there that have bad attitudes, but I've never met one. I think they're super protective of their owners. Like my dad's in here, Ernest Parnell. He got bit by one. I don't know why I'm laughing. I think that's funny. Maybe it's not funny. I don't know. I think it's funny. But they're so adorable. I'm sure, like to this day, I still think that he provoked it somehow, but he swears he didn't. How can a dog this beautiful be mean? I don't know. I don't think they get mean unless provoked. I'm just kidding. I really don't know. Like, they do have these dogs be military and police dogs for a reason. They are protective. You probably have to, train them to not like be jerks. We don't have time. I need to make sure that I get all of this stuff in here. If I get the face done, then I can kind of like work on some of the other stuff a little bit more loosely. I like the looseness of this style called military working dogs, canines. I like the looseness of this style. I really love this style. I don't know what made me think to do it the other day, but I started doing this and I love it so much that I think I'm going to do a lot of work in it in the future. All right, so this is going to be kind of tough. His tongue is pink, but it's not like a bright pink or anything like that. So I need to work some pink into here, but also I need to um, get some light in there as well. So bear with me as I kind of like do the whole push pull dance of that. I do like big dogs with big floppy mouths. Yeah, like I said, that one artist, she's been working on a dog for like several sessions. I would love to see what my art would look like if I did that. Like if I sat down and worked on something and then came back to it like the next day and then kept working on it. I would love to do like so that's another goal for this year. It's still January, so it's still time to make, you know, goals and stuff like that. So one of my other big goals is like not big goals. I only said big because that's the goal. I want to make a big picture. Like I don't know how big. Like I don't know, at least 3 feet, but I want to make it bigger than that. Um, Not necessarily like a big old mural size or anything like that, but significant. And I don't know what medium I want to use or anything like that. I haven't put that much thought into it. It's just like a basic loose goal of mine this year to to create a bigger work. Because I mentioned before, like I don't know how big you guys estimate this to be, but it's not that big. It is 9 by 12 inches, which you know is okay. But it's sorry, I just saw that this up here isn't quite what I'm looking for, so I just wanted to put this stuff in here real quick. So this 9 by 12 is pretty cool, especially like if you framed it, it would look pretty decent. But it's not what I want to do. I want to try something a lot bigger. So I'm gonna do that this year at some point. I don't know if it'll be like on a wall or what. Dogs can smell when a diabetic's blood sugar is low, and I read that somehow they can smell cancer cells. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's amazing. I think that's what's cool about them. I mean, that's not all that's cool about them. They're just cool in general. But so here, there's always like this white. So like through here, when you're drawing human lips and stuff, like you draw like glossiness and stuff like that. With dogs, it's like there's this ridge of white fur. So you're basically drawing this like mustache. And I'm kind of keeping it light because I lost where the mouth is. So I kind of have to bring it back, and I'm a little tentative about that. So I'm gonna do it lightly. Yeah, that looks pretty good. All right, now that I know where it is, I'll be a little bit more bolder. Yeah, they can smell all that stuff, and I don't know why they're not used for that. I guess there's other ways to diagnose whether blood. I mean, you can basically do a test and see if your blood sugar is low, so you don't have to rely on dogs. But I still think that's kind of cool. I was gonna say like they should do that more often. Nah, you probably just use the little insulin strip or whatever. My mom's diabetic, so I'm a little familiar with that rigmarole or whatever they call it. She used to have to take shots like every day. Now she's got one of those insulin pumps, so it's not as intrusive, I guess, as it was when I grew up. Like I have this like memory that she's always had diabetes, but I don't think that's true. I think when we were super young, she didn't. Like I've always known her as having diabetes as far back as I can remember. That's looking like a mouth, or like not a mouth, but whatever this part is, upper lip kind of thing. Hey, did you tell that Dora was coming out of her paycheck? I love that you guys have these conversations amongst yourselves. Like I have no idea what you guys are talking about right now. You guys don't need me here. Like honestly, I could just have like a black screen going and you guys would still be chatting amongst yourself. Literally so, because there was that one time that I forgot to start the stream and you guys were in here already chatting and stuff like that. You guys don't like I don't even need to be here. You guys will talk to yourselves. I love that you guys do that. It's so cool. I like that you guys are friends. That's kind of cool. Hey, Creative Boredom, haven't seen you in a while. How's it going? Shout out to Creative Boredom. He has his own channel, so like if you ever get bored and want to like go and check out something new, he's a he's a funny guy. I like him. Super cool doggo, Jeremy. Thank you. I appreciate it. I think it's starting to come together. I always get a little nervous in the process. Like you are supposed to trust the process, and I do to an extent. Mostly, I do because like any kind of going off the rails or something like that. I feel like I've done this enough times that I feel like I can, within reason, kind of rein it back in and create something decent. Maybe not, maybe not the vision that I had in mind, but I can bring it back to a semblance of something that makes a little bit of sense. But then sometimes you got things like this. I'm not worried about it on this one. This one's looking pretty good. But yeah, you have to trust the process, and part of that trusting the process is having the confidence that if things do screw up, it's not going to be so bad that you can't like make adjustments. Because you can, like I mean, I don't want to, but I could just kind of like smear it out and start over if I wanted to. I would probably give up rather than doing that, but if I like had to like complete this or something, I could probably pull something out of it, you know. Some pictures are better than others. But no, I'm pretty happy with this one. So, like I said, the mouth isn't that pink, so like I'm going over it with the white to kind of like soften that up a little bit. Remember that scene in John Carpenter's The Thing where the dog's face splits open like a banana and it transforms into the thing? If I ever saw that, I blocked it out. I don't actually remember that scene. It's been a while since I saw that movie. I feel like it deserves a second watch. Like I know of that movie, and I'm pretty sure I've seen it before, but it has been so long. Um, if you are a fan of that movie and you're just a fan of Kurt Russell in general, I'd like to give a shout out to my buddy who has a Kurt Russell podcast. It's on Spotify, and it's called Kurt Russell Rules, and they just basically go over every single um, Kurt Russell movie ever made. They're just like Kurt Russell super fans, and they know all the trivia, all the details, and stuff like that of every movie he's ever made. I think they've reviewed The Thing. Maybe they haven't gotten to that one yet, but I'm pretty sure they will at some point, just because like they are on a mission to go over every single movie, watch every single movie he's ever done, and and basically do a podcast on it. Have a good one, MJ. I appreciate you stopping in. Thank you. MJ is one of our regulars here. I really appreciate that MJ pops in. Right. There's a little bit of a. Um, I'm gonna use this to my regret. I think this might be a bit much. I think that might work. Don't want to get too much color on that. Yeah, I think that works. Anyway, yeah, so it's called Kurt Russell Rules. It's on Spotify. I think it's pretty cool, like that they do that. He's a pretty cool guy, my friend, and yeah, they did review Escape from New York. That was one of their early episodes too, and I think they nailed it. Like they did a really good job. And then I actually did a Kurt Russell Santa Claus because like they were doing that for not this Christmas, but the Christmas prior. So kind of, I basically did the Santa Claus just to promote them. But anyway, like they started a podcast and they only had so many. I think they have a decent listenership now, but when they first started, they were struggling to like get people to listen. That's the way it always goes. But I kind of like wanted to give a shout out to them just to kind of like get it going. All right. That's a good enough tongue to get started. I wanted to be a little bit lighter, so I think I'll come back to that. But how are we doing on time? Yeah. So let me develop the rest of the mouth, and then we'll kind of come back to that, I think. So I think this is where the bottom of the lip is. Kind of goes up into here. Sorry, I'm lost in my own thoughts here. I want I don't want to be too dark with this because I'm not 100% sure where everything is. I think this lip comes out from here, kind of comes up. I want to bring it out maybe here. So there's a concept that I kind of have of like relational mapping. So um, there's a bunch of different ways where you can ensure that your proportions are correctly done. So like you can kind of use a grid system. You can do things like that. What I like to do is kind of like guess. I mean, it's not perfect. Like sometimes when I'm really careful, like want to be careful and stuff, I put more effort into it. But in general, whenever I'm like, kind of trying to map out where things are and stuff, it's basically like, okay, what's the distance between here and here? What's the distance between here and here? So I'm kind of trying to map this out in my mind, and it generally works out. There's better ways to do it. Like you can actually look at the reference and you can kind of like, do things like that. Um, on this part, I'm not that worried about it. I'm just kind of mentioning why I'm a little bit slower here. It's because I'm trying to figure out where things are. And then also, I usually just kind of blob things in and just kind of move them around. So like, there's no detail here or anything like that. So I can kind of come in, just kind of like move things around a little bit, just kind of blob that in. And then, if it's not the right proportion or something, I can just kind of move those lines. As long as everything's nice and soft and like, you know, not kind of like set in stone, you can make adjustments like that. Yeah. So right now, that looks that way. But if I come in and I add, a little bit of highlight over it, you not only get that depth and stuff, but you can also like use this as an opportunity to kind of like make adjustments. So by the by putting this highlight in just so, I'm actually moving or I'm reshaping the corner of his mouth, if that makes sense. So that's why I don't stress things too much. Like sure, I want the proportions to be well done, but also like if they're not and I'm not happy with it, I can just kind of make little adjustments to kind of move things around. So like there, I just kind of put this little curl in here that reshaped his mouth a little bit. So, you know, that's why you don't stress these things. You don't worry about them because like you can make little tiny adjustments. It's like a little magic trick. Nobody even sees you do it. It's a little sleight of hand. I mean, it's not like people are watching unless you're doing like a live stream like I am. Nobody's really watching you do these things anyway. I'm just saying that you can you can do a lot like that. I do encourage everybody to do public art. It's got its own set of rewards. I know that it's not. I mean, I'm a shy person, so like I don't think that that's an excuse. I'm really shy. I don't like to be the center of attention. It takes me a while to like kind of get over that and do things like this. It's a little. I find it's a little easier for me actually on YouTube than like say in person or whatever. Like I want to do this in a pub, but I'm dreading the thought of that because like actually talking to people in person is a little bit more challenging. So I don't know how that's going to go. I think I'll be okay because I've gotten to the point where I'm able to manage that kind of shyness, but I am kind of shy. But so long story short, I don't think that's it. That's an excuse. I think that everybody should do public art. I think it's part of the process to become that way. I think that art is something that is meant to be shared. You know, like it's not something that like you hear sometimes people hoard their art and keep it in like a basement or something like that. And you shouldn't do all that. Rum Dog's like, I'm on dog three. Man, you just knocking out dogs while I'm sitting here taking forever to do mine. That's funny. I would like to do art faster, but you know, I don't know. I think I've got like a pretty good balance. between taking a while and then like also knocking out something pretty quickly. Like I said, there's some people who like work on the same picture for like several days and stuff like that. I mean, to me, that's astounding. I do not have the patience for that. Dogs have has a little bit more of a 5 o'clock shadow in here. Got to get it in there. A little bit of a yeah. All right, so I'm going to come back to this face here in a minute. There's some more work I want to do. I just want to make sure that I get where I wanted to be here on this mouth, which I'm not yet. Hey, I'm kind of curious among my audience, which I know that some of you guys are probably like not into the Marvel universe. I'm wondering how many people are like excited about Captain America coming out like in a couple weeks, the next Captain America movie. Because I don't know, I worry about. So I love Disney as far as like their content, right? So like I love Star Wars shows, I love Marvel shows. Um, but I feel like people are a little bit over it. Like they're not into like comic book movies or Star Wars as much as maybe in the past and stuff. So I'm kind of curious if anybody's actually planning to go see the new Captain America movie. I know that when the Marvels came out, I didn't really expect that to do well, and unfortunately it didn't. So I'm like, I hope this one does well, so they can kind of bounce back from that. They did pretty well with Deadpool, so maybe it's not as dire as I think it is, but I haven't heard many people excited about the Captain America movie, so I was kind of curious what you guys thought. I'm gonna go see it, as I always go and see these things, and I'll report back and let you know. But yeah, I was just kind of curious what you guys thought. Hey Kinsley, how's it going? Kinsley loves puppies, so hopefully Kinsley loves this one. Hey, whenever you show up, Kinsley, that's totally fine. You know, I people have busy lives and stuff like that. I appreciate when anybody shows up. I think it's kind of cool that anybody actually shows up. Captain is a great name for this beautiful shepherd. Oh yeah, that is a good name. Oh, I was just I don't know why, but didn't Biden have a German shepherd that like bit people or something like that? I was wondering if they're like happy that his dog is gone out of the White House. I was just thinking about that because like that's in the news now. Yeah, I think his name was Commander, which is what made me think of it. Love this drawing. Never say oops, especially while tattooing. Yeah, for real. Thanks, Kinsley. I appreciate it. Yeah, I think it's coming together. So I'm trying to do these like white highlights. You know, obviously dogs have like black lips and stuff, so like you gotta get these like little highlights in here. I'm getting better at it, but it is a little bit of a challenge to draw with these black, not black, block pastels, um, which I have to do because like my pencil isn't opaque enough. Like I can't get these like really bright whites with the pencil. What I could do is at the end I could come back over it with like colored pencil, which is fine because this wax base will go over this pastel and stuff. But you know, I kind of don't want to do that. I want to get these like little marks in here. But no, I love these pastels. These pastels that I got. Um, I actually bought these with like a donation. I'm not going to name them. You guys know who you are. But I got a donation for some art supplies, and this is what I bought is these pastels, and I am super appreciative of that because like I love these things. These are so great. I appreciate all the support of this channel. Like you guys know who you are, so unless you want me to, you know, name names, I'm happy to do that too. But yeah, you guys you guys are kind enough to lend me some money to get some art supplies, and I try to put it to good use. I try to get stuff that I can use, that I can grow with. Like I feel like that's the case with these pastels. Um, I'm able to do some cool work. I got for Christmas. I got from Dave, just Dave. Shout out to just Dave. He's a fan of the show as well. He got me like a little carrying case for like my art supplies and stuff. So when I go to the pub and I do some art there at the pub, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put all my stuff in that, and then I'll be a traveling artist. That'd be cool. I think that would be a little bit of fun. Very dog looking dog. Nice. I'm glad it's dog looking. I think he's pretty cool. All right, so I didn't do it earlier just because I wasn't sure what else I was going to do with these eyes, but I'll go ahead and put in the highlight here. These dogs have such glassy eyes, and putting in these highlights over the eyes. So I wouldn't normally be able to do this, except this so super soft pastel, right? So the super soft pastel, you can kind of go over the stuff that you have already done, and it's still pretty opaque. It doesn't, like, as long as you're careful with what you're doing, it doesn't like blend. It doesn't, like, it looks nice and crisp. That's what I like about these pastels. So can put those things in, instantly start looking super glossy or like glassy, and all that stuff. Um, so I love these pastels. They're so cool. And then, like, even though it's a big chunk, right? I'm using the sharp edge of it to like put in these like little details. Like that little mark there was like put in by one of these like little edges. So don't be afraid to like practice with these. And it's similar with like charcoal. You can you can kind of use the edges of it and stuff like that. Let's see. I think I had. All right, I'm gonna use this. But yeah, you're just building up layers. So you guys saw that I started with the watercolor layer. Now I've got a couple of layers of pastel. Just increasing the layers above it, using a different color. You start getting some some stuff that at least looks like realistic fur. I mean, you guys are at a little bit of a distance looking at this picture. Like if you look at really close, like maybe you can see the illusion. But at least from a distance, it looks like believable fur. And if you take your time, you can get these marks in here, almost like a pencil. I do have pencils and stuff, but I try not to rely on them. And then, like I said, like depending on the softness of the pastel pencils, they may not be appropriate for these upper layers. These upper layers, you really need like super soft pencils. I've got a set that are super soft, but I don't know. I save those for like special pictures. This is just a practice picture. But and also the further I mention this every time, the further, yeah, Captain is a great name. The further you move away from like the details of the face, always the eyes are the details and stuff, and maybe the mouth and everything. But the further you move away from it, the less the less detailed you'd have to be. So like I can be a little bit looser with some of the color up here, and then I don't have to like really blend it out so much. I want to kind of leave some of the marks in there so that it looks like pastel and so on. All right, so I'm pretty happy with that. I'm gonna move back down to this mouth area here. Keep track of all the things. So one of the challenges is just like not forgetting anything as you move around. Like there's so many different areas to the picture. But the goal here is to create something that's visually interesting, that has a nice balance between detail and abstraction. So like I don't want to tidy this up too much. It looks messy, but it's intentionally messy. So, I kind of want there to be some abstraction. So like this down here, this is very abstract, right? This here is very detailed. I like that balance. I think it creates this nice little contrast. It's not appropriate for every kind of art that you do, but I like it for this. I like it for pet portraits and so on. I think it's a cool style, in my mind at least. So you see the process, right? So you put down some color or some, in this case, like some shade. Blend it out so it's nice and smooth. And I'm happy with that. And then you kind of come back over it with some sort of detail. And you can do this a million times over, right? So like you can do as many layers as you need to do to, like, some people, if they want to spend like days on it or whatever, can create like super realistic pictures from this. But I don't think it takes that much just to create something that looks cool. But yeah, you just kind of come back over that smooth stuff with like some details and everything, and then voila, it's got details. So I think that's a cool process. I think it's repeatable. It's something that anybody can do. I'm not saying it doesn't take a little bit of skills, but I think I really do think with like practice, anybody can do this stuff. Um, I like that you guys appreciate that I can do it and stuff, but I don't think I'm doing anything here that other people can't do. I bring nothing to the table. I bring nothing to the table. This is all stuff that anybody can do. I have no uniqueness to me or anything like that. You've probably seen pictures like this that other people have done. I mean, I think it looks cool. I'm proud of it and everything, but I am under no illusion that I'm doing anything that other people can't do. And honestly, so like that's my art philosophy, really, is that anybody can do this stuff if they just practice and like put time into it. I wasn't able to do this kind of stuff before. Um, like I've been trying to clean up those pictures and stuff, but some of them are still around. If you go back to my early days, they were not good pictures. They were there, or at least they weren't this good. Um, they weren't this interesting and so on. This is stuff that I've developed over time, and it's not a long time. I've only been really drawing for the last couple of years. I started this channel in 2023, so around that time is kind of like the amount of time it takes to get to this level. And I feel like there's a lot more like growth I can do. Like I can get way better than this, but I think that anybody can who puts in the time can do it. All the colors and the detail looks fantastic. Looking good. Detailio, do. Beautiful chaos. And beautiful chaos. I love that. That's a great way to put it. I like that. Thanks, Coopart. Um, beautiful chaos. Exactly. And it strikes that balance. So like you have some detail in here, so it's not all chaos. There's some order, but then also you have that chaos as well. Thank you for thank you for my Mingo drawing, Rome. I love it. Awesome. I'm glad that you guys know each other that way, I guess. Yeah, right, Jeremy. My stick potbelly dog looks nothing like yours. Yeah, but you know what? I feel like it could. I feel like if you believe that you can accomplish this art, you can do it. I believe that if you practice, you know, I do this twice a week. So that's quite a bit of practice. I watch other people do things. Like I watch like YouTube videos of other people working on things and stuff. It gives me ideas. Um, Anybody can do that kind of stuff. Like I'm not, I realize there is some inherent artistic ability that is probably something that not everybody has. Is something that you have to develop, and it may take longer than others. I'm not saying all that. I realize that's a thing, but also you can create something like this. It's not that hard. You see, it's a repeatable process. I don't know. You can put in some keywords into like an AI art generator and create something like this, if nothing else, you know. We're talking art landscapes in Discord. You inspired us. I would like to use this for landscapes. I have a couple of ideas, honestly. Like I like this style for creating like dog portraits and people portraits. Eventually, I'm going to do some people portraits. Um, but I also think this would work for like landscapes. I'm not a big landscape artist, so it's going to take me a little bit of like confidence building to even try it. But yeah, I think that like if you put in like a big splotch of stuff and then from that abstractness build out some buildings or something like that or some trees or whatever, I think you could build some pretty cool landscapes, um, cityscapes, castles. I love castles. Maybe like castles with like a dragon or something. That'd be cool. But yeah, I think that you could do some landscapes on this. Landscapes, everybody loves landscapes, and I suck at it. That's one of those things, you know. I just want to get better at doing landscapes, just because everybody loves them. All right, gotta fix up these noses here. These noses, one nose, this nose, and this nose. Um, got this line that kind of comes through here. Sorry, just fixing this up. I commented on her short. She lost them in December. Oh, that's terrible. Sorry. Yeah, I still think it's fascinating that like everybody on YouTube that does art knows everybody else. You know, it's like these little small communities and stuff like that. I think that's awesome. I love that how super encouraging everybody is. Like everybody encourages me, I encourage everybody else. It's just like this big like bubble of encouragement, you know. I love that. That's great. All right, so there's this like highlight the content. So, all right, this is a good example. So there's pretty good structure in this nose and stuff, but then if I add this like little swoosh across here, suddenly you have even more structure to his nose, like this little, just this little bit of like detail, right? And then another one over here, because like the light's coming down, it catches the corner of his nose. Just this little bit here. And you don't have to go crazy with it, just that little subtle detail gives it this painterly kind of look. And it's just a lot of little things like that. And it takes a little while to get the kind of courage that you that you need to pull that off. But it's not like, I don't know, but it's not rocket science. You know, anybody can do this stuff. All right, so there's too much detail here. This needs to be softened up. So I just kind of blend that out a little bit. So it's this back and forth between hard elements and soft elements. And I think that's what kind of gives it this realistic look. So hard elements, little highlights and stuff, soft elements, the rest of it. So it's back and forth. And then, like I said, you can do this all day. You can just keep going back and forth. We don't have all day, but you know, I do think that like within 2 hours, you can create a convincing piece of art, at least. So, pretty happy with that. I want to get more of this orangish color in here. That's pretty cool that you guys are talking about the like landscapes in Discord. I need to start Discord for this channel at some point. I haven't figured out how I want to do that yet, but you know, just a place where people can show off their art and stuff like that. The thing is, you know, like I do want it to be like kid friendly, and it's not like I have like a lot of moderators or whatever. Um, so I'm gonna have to put some thought into that, but like I want it to be kind of like a safe space to share art. I don't want people coming in trying to scam you guys. Like, because like, yeah, man, I was so surprised. I signed up for Instagram like a couple years back just to like have a place to post my art and stuff, and then instantaneously I started getting all these scammers like hitting me up like, hey, I love your art. I want to buy your art and stuff. Like, I'll pay you $5,000 million to buy your art and everything. And I'm like, okay. And then I don't even know what the scam is and stuff, but apparently, like, that's just a big thing on Instagram. I don't know. Like, maybe they ask for your bank account at some point or something like that. But anyway, I'd like, if I did start a Discord, some sort of community like that, I would want there to be like some sort of like guardrails or something to keep the riffraff out. So that's why I haven't done it. I haven't really thought that through too much, but I think it would be kind of cool. People share their art and get some feedback from others. Your beagle drawing you made me smile because I have an 11-year-old beagle. Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Um, yeah, I got a lot of good feedback on that. Apparently, who knew? People love beagles. Beagles are awesome. I love beagles. Yeah, I'm really happy with how that turned out. I'm happy with like the style that I'm working on. I'm pretty happy with how everything's kind of turned out so far. I did a horse like this. I did an owl. Um, it's up to you which one you like the best. It seemed for some reason it seems like the girls like the owl and the guys like the horse. I don't know why. Um, And then I did the Beagle, and now I've got this German Shepherd in this style. I'm really just trying to build like a portfolio of, similar pictures, and then maybe consider it like a collection, something. I don't know. I haven't put that much thought into it, but all right. So this is a good example of something where I can show you how this works. We've got this little corner of his mouth, right? It's all lots and shadows, and I kind of want to reclaim some of the stuff out of it. I'm going to try to use a white pencil and see if that works. Um, so I want kind of like a highlight over here, right? So like this highlight here kind of tells you that the mouth ends over here because like this is where the light's kind of catching it. So I bring that up, and then I kind of want this to kind of extend down through here. So while you have this dark area here, I've now created some structure to it, right? So it was kind of like blurry before, now it's got a little bit of details in it, and now it looks like a mouth. So that's all it is, just like little things like that. You blur something out, and then you start reclaiming it, right? You start adding some details above it. And like I said, you can add as many layers as you want. Some people who are like doing like photorealistic stuff, they might add, I don't know, like a million different layers. Um, it's you can only do this because I've applied the clear gesso to the page, but also there is some like pastel paper out there that people use that automatically is textured, pastel matte, something like that. Sorry, a little bit different colors. A little bit of brown, put some brown up in here. And I'm like trying to be a little bit careful. Like I don't want to go too far. I want the watercolor to show through the watercolor background. I like how that works, right? So I don't want to replace that with pastel. But that said, there are some areas where things are kind of like just blotted out and stuff like that. And I want to create some interesting visual stuff there. So that's what I do. All right, so I'm pretty happy with this guy. There's probably some changes I might make here and there. Um, this nose here, sorry. All right. But this is where I start like getting a little crazy with things. So like not crazy, but so I'm pretty happy. So this is like a light blue. I might just come in and just add some random color. Um, you know, who's to say that this dog isn't reflecting like blue in the environment? So I've already introduced blue with the background. So to add some blue elements and stuff, it's kind of like it's appropriate, but also it adds this visual. Like I know it's hard to see because like you'll be able to see tomorrow when I take a photo of it. But like it's kind of yellow in here and stuff like that. But just like this little blue highlight here, that's the kind of stuff that makes it art, right? That's the kind of stuff that makes it not a photo. You add like these little artistic things to kind of like make it more interesting. And that takes it out of the realm of just being a photo and makes it more I, I don't know like I don't know words. I don't know what terms to use, but adding like these little highlights are cool for that. So again, I've got this like little green one over here. I'm going to do the same stuff, adding a little bit of green lines, because like a dog doesn't normally have green in his fur, but reflecting the environment around him, maybe he does. So put that in there. I think that's kind of cool. I mean, I don't want them to look like a rainbow or anything like that, but these little highlights and stuff help. Same with this like little orange. Just kind of put in a little bit of bright orange here and there, just to kind of break things up. I like this kind of stuff. Maybe not everybody's into it. Maybe somebody be like, well, that's not realistic. Um, I don't care. I really don't. I think it looks cool. Um, I will I will err on the side of, oh, that looks cool versus realism every single day, every single time. If it looks cool, I've done my job. If it looks realistic, then maybe I've done my job. I don't know. Larry's beard on Rome. It's going to be epic, like a raccoon for kids. That's fun. Who knew ginormous raccoons that we spotted under the bird feeder? Nice. I need to do a raccoon in this style. I think that'll look cool. Um, I'll get around to doing that at some point. So by applying that clear gesso, you can add many, many layers. If you were just doing it without the clear, like you can pull this off without the clear gesso to an extent, but you're going to run into a point where the tooth of the paper is kind of filled up already, and you're not going to be able to add more layers above it. So the clear gesso helps so that you can add enough layers to create like a picture that's cool. Um, and then like if you do run into a point where like your tooth is used up, you don't really have the ability to add new layers. Well, you can always spray this down with Fixint and then come back over it and add more then. So that'll give it some tooth as well. So little techniques like that. Um, I know that like a lot of people are into like using colored pencils. Um, so you may not be familiar with pastel so much. I encourage you guys to give it a shot. I love pastels, but also you can use colored pencils for this as well. So like it may be difficult to get like the level of detail that you might want using these pastels alone, especially these chunky ones. Um, there's only so fine of a line that this is going to create. That said, there's really no reason why I can't come back over this with colored pencil and create like even finer detail, like individual pieces of fur and stuff like that. I think that this is good enough. It gives the impression that I'm shooting for, but this doesn't have to be the end all be all. There's two ways I can do that. I can either like just come in with a colored pencil over this, which could generally work just because it is wax and this is basically chalk here. Uh, that wax will probably go over this pretty well. That said, if it doesn't, you can always spray this down with Fix It and then go over it and with the colored pencils. I don't have any colored pencils here prepped for this, so it's not like I can demonstrate that. But yeah, this works really well with other mediums as well. So this is a mixed media picture. Like a lot of times I'm more of a purist and I'm like, well, you know, like if I'm using watercolor, I want to use watercolor. If I'm using pastel, I want to use pastel. This is mixed media by nature. So might as well go all in and just like, use whatever you got. Wow, Jeremy, it looks great. Thanks, Edie. I think is it Edie or Eddie? I'm gonna say Edie. Thanks, Edie. Appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys. This is awesome. I do think I'm getting pretty close to being done here, so I'm probably gonna wrap this up. Just kind of get a few more details up in this here. It's tough because like you have to remember like, oh, I wanted to come back to that and so on. And there's always this like tough balance. Like you don't want to overdo it, do it. You don't want to leave things unfinished, but you also don't want to overdo it. Like this is a very loose style. Well, like in some parts. And you kind of want to let it be loose. I've always had trouble like that with that in the past, and I'm pretty happy with how these things have turned out because like some of you guys draw pictures and for those of you who do, you always run into the issue of like, well, where do I stop the picture? Like if I'm drawing a dog, right? Do I fill it up to the edge? Do I draw like his chest? Where do I stop drawing the dog? So this abstraction that we've got going on here, where things get kind of lost in a chaos of like watercolor, solves that problem. It just looks really cool, and it just like you don't have to worry about things like where does the dog stop. The dog doesn't. The dog stops wherever the watercolor does. So anyway, I think that's kind of cool. But yeah, I think I'm about done with this. A few more little pieces. So some of these I wanted to look like actual pastel marks. So I think that's important to note. So there's a balance between like, do you want to show marks? Do you not want to show marks? So like in the eyes, I want it to be nice and smooth. I don't want to show any marks. Some of the other areas, I want it to be nice and smooth. I don't want to show any marks. But then also in these top layers, I do kind of want to show some marks of the pastel because it looks nice. It looks like they call it painterly. It looks painted. And then in other areas, I want to show the watercolor, and I don't want that covered. So it's this back and forth. Every time I think I'm done, it pulls me back in. Honestly, I can work on a picture forever. At some point, you just have to decide like it's done. I have to move on. You have to be careful with blending stumps with these things, just because like you know, it's really easy to pull the pastel out and then like you have to put it back in. Anyway, I think I'm pretty happy with this. Especially like I was a little bit concerned when I added the watercolor. I'm not gonna lie. It was like 5 minutes before I was supposed to go live, so I'm like, I don't know if I'm happy with this because it did look like a big mess. Like if you scrub back to the beginning, um, the watercolor mess was a bit of a mess. I'm like, how am I supposed to pull a dog out of this? So I was a little bit. Let me get some. Sorry, let me get some whiskers in here. I forgot to do that part. I gently draw the whiskers because like But anyway, I was a little bit concerned that I can actually get a dog out of this picture, um, just because of the mess of watercolor that was there. So I am pretty happy that like this worked out. So this is a good example of where you might want to like add some fixing and then come back and do this with like pencil or like colored pencil or like even a gel pen or something like that. Um, it's very difficult to get these like little micro lines and stuff with the pastel. I think I'm doing a good job, but it's one of those things where it's like I'm not sure if I have. So that would be kind of cool. Um, Kid says he looks like a good boy. To that point, so like I would actually love to see other people's art. So like if anybody out there has work that they've done that they'd like to share with me, my email address is on the about page. And you know, if you guys want to share stuff and like have me post it to my community tab, I'd love to. Like if you guys want to share anything and you're like, hey, I appreciate you I appreciate you drawing, but like my drawings are way better, and like that's totally fine. If you want to show me your art because it's better, that's cool. Um, and like I can post it to the community tab, and you know we can all see it and stuff. That'd be kind of cool. But anyway, I'm gonna add. Sorry, I'm gonna add like a little bit of blue over here, just for fun. I think that looks cool. All right, so I think I'm done. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me on a Tuesday night. I will be back on Thursday. I don't know what I'm going to do on Thursday, but it'll probably be something like this just because I am trying to build that collection of pictures that kind of are similar. Okay, Larry's hopping off, so that's cool. Captain looks amazing. I like that name for him. It's great. Um, so yeah, I am trying to build a kind of like a portfolio of similar looking pictures. So I'll probably do another one of these type things on Thursday. If any of you guys can think of a subject that you want me to tackle, let me know. But yeah, I will see you guys then. So again, I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. You guys are awesome. I think this one turned out pretty good. Hopefully you guys feel the same. But I will let you guys go and I will see you on Thursday. Thank you so much. Maybe I'll do bear next. I don't know. All right. I'll see you guys. Thank you so much. Bye. Oh, Mama Q says a wizard. That'd be great. All right. We'll see what happens. All right. Thanks, everybody. Bye.